What's up, everybody? Doc Dark 1985. There's levels to this. All right. Let me start off by saying that I am not a Xbox fan. I am not a a Sony fan. I'm not a Nintendo fan. I'm not specifically a fan of any type of company or whatever. I like them all, to be honest with you. I do. I like them all. Now, the PS4 this generation was my favorite system until I got a PC. Right now, I like PC better. The PS3 was my favorite system. Okay, I didn't even get an Xbox 360 at all. I had a original Xbox in 2005, I believe. I had one, and the only game I played for it was Halo, and then I sold it. I only had it for a small amount of time. Okay, I've always been a huge Nintendo fan. Had the Nintendo 64 when it came out. Actually, no, I didn't get it when it came out. I got the Nintendo 64 when I think I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, yeah. So I'm probably aging myself, but Doc Dark 1985. If you know math, you could probably figure out the 1985. It's the year I was born, so you could probably figure out how old I am. But anyways, I say this because I feel like a lot of diehard Sony fans don't want to admit what's happening right now. Now, here's the truth. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna name this video. Okay, the PS5 is not dead yet. Okay, there's still time. All right, but this is what Sony has to do. All right, power is not always what determines whether or not a system, a console, is better than another console. Not always. It's not. It's not. Okay. The Nintendo 64 had features that the PlayStation didn't have, like the fact that you could connect four controllers right out of the box, right? I think you could do it with the original PlayStation, but you had to get like an adapter or something, right? That's an extra feature that made the Nintendo 64 maybe more enticing than the PlayStation for other people. Okay, that's one example. All right. On the reverse side, the PlayStation had was it the PlayStation that came out with it? Was it? It might have been a PlayStation that came out with it. Or just the innovation of playing with CDs versus playing with cartridges. Maybe Sega Saturn did it before that. Regardless, there's always something different that a console could do that to some consumers might make it worth it. Okay? Here's the problem with Sony. Sony right now is trying to argue that the power difference between the Xbox Series X and the PS5 is not that big of a difference because they're going to do things similarly but differently, which is fine. Okay, you can make that argument if you want. We really won't know till these systems come out. But here's the thing: you need to tell us, Sony, what is going to be different. Now, everyone keeps talking about exclusives, right? And you're absolutely right. Exclusives can sell consoles. If you don't believe me, you only have to look at Nintendo. Okay. Why does the camera keep switching the light like that? Am I standing in the wrong place? Let me stand right here. Hopefully it stops switching color. I'm looking green and stuff. Anyways, look at Nintendo. Nintendo solely sells based off its first party games. That's it. Nobody buys a Nintendo console for their third party support. Not anymore, at least. It doesn't happen. I remember when the Nintendo 64 came out. I mean, GoldenEye was amazing. I remember all the wrestling games for the Nintendo 64. I mean, amazing. But after the Nintendo 64, if you're buying a Nintendo system, you're buying it for the exclusives. Well, Sony this generation, not only did they have a more powerful console, right? But they also had better exclusives. So it was like a double whammy against the Xbox, right? Now though, Xbox is coming out with power and they're showing you everything that they have, and there's no tricks up their sleeves. There's no this is what we got. This is the raw power we got. This is what it's gonna feel like. Okay. If Sony wants to fight that game, having a weaker console, I don't think it's a smart idea. They need to just show us what these exclusives are. Show us what the exclusive games are going to be. Show us the controller. Show us something cool with the controllers. Maybe the controller is gonna have back buttons or paddles or whatever. Every single one. That's something cool. That's something different. That's something innovative, right? Power does not determine who's gonna win. And again, Nintendo has proven that. I don't know how long Nintendo's going to be able to ride this train of making weaker systems, but so far, so good. The Nintendo Switch 1080p is 30 frames. Like, come on, Nintendo. But you know what? It's still selling because the Nintendo Switch is something new, it's something innovative. And what did Nintendo do when it came out? It didn't talk about power. It didn't talk about how it compared with power to the PS4 or the Xbox One S or whatever. It didn't do that. They spoke about specifically what their system brings to the table and the experience that you're going to get playing their system. And they did it by showing a first party game. I don't know if you remember that commercial. They showed the dude sitting on the couch playing Zelda, puts the controller in, takes it out, and bam, now he's got Zelda on the go. Right? Amazing. They also showed some basketball games and stuff, right? Like people playing basketball on the court and then they stop to play basketball on the Switch, which is, we all know that's not going to happen, but still, it's pretty cool. It showed that the system itself essentially comes with two controllers, showed people playing Mario Kart together and stuff. Like that's cool. It showed four different switches connected together somehow, and like it showed what the Switch could do, and that's how they were able to compete and even make you want to buy a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is a a Nintendo DS on steroids. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. I know in my household, we don't even have the docking station attached to the TV anymore because it's pointless. It's pointless. We always play the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. Poker Dude always is playing it in handheld mode. There's no point. There's no point. Like it works pretty well in handheld mode, right? So it is what it is. But again, that goes to show you that power is not necessarily what's going to make next generation. The victor's not going to be declared by by power, specifically next generation, not necessarily. Now, if Sony wants to make this a power thing, then obviously right now it looks like the Xbox is going to win. What I'm saying is Sony needs to show us something else. And if it's games, then you better go hard. You better go hard with your first party games. And here's the thing, Sony can. They really can. Like they got God of War, right? Like they got that. They got the Crash Bandicoot, right? Let's see what else they got. What else they got? What am I missing? I don't know. You guys tell me. But I know they got first party games. Killzone, right? Those are first party games. So there's stuff that Sony can do, but oh, you're gonna have to do it soon. You're gonna have to show us something soon. So the PS5 is not dead yet, and I know Sony fans have been getting on my case about this, but look, we can only speculate because that's all everybody's doing based off the information that we have. And I appreciate all the YouTube channels trying to be positive to the PS5, talking about I saw a lot of YouTube channels still trying to make it seem like it compares to the Xbox Series X. Look, man, from everything else that I've seen, it's good game. What Sony did was talk a good game, try to confuse a lot of us to believe that it's going to be similar. We really won't know, but right now, if I was a betting man, as far as power goes, I'm putting my money on the Xbox Series X. So if exclusives is what Sony is going to stick to, show us exclusives. That's it. Show us exclusives. So we'll see. That's all I got, man. PS5's not dead yet, but it's pretty close to be dead. It's if they don't do something quick, I think off the gate, people are going to run towards Microsoft, and I don't know how quickly Sony's going to be able to recover. And I don't know if Sony's trying to hold on to their freaking fan loyalty or brand loyalty or whatever. But let me tell you, man, 2020 brand loyalty it ain't like that anymore. It is not like that. We live in a generation right now. We live in times right now where it's it's consumer based. If I want to switch, I'll switch like that. If T-Mobile gives me a better deal than Verizon, I'm out. Oh, I'm gonna get free Netflix? Yeah, I'm out. Boom. Oh, hold on. Verizon now saying they're gonna give me free Apple Music and free Disney Plus. All right, I'll stay with Verizon. That's how quick it is. This stuff is fickle, man. I remember growing up when I had my Nintendo 64. I didn't even think about getting a Sony PlayStation. Are you out your mind? That's like joining a different gang. We ain't doing that here. We ain't doing that. You come to my house, you play Nintendo 64, I'm gonna talk trash about your PlayStation. I'm gonna show you how great my Nintendo 64 is. When I go over to your house and we play that PlayStation, you're gonna talk trash about it, my Nintendo 64 and how great your squared pixels are and all this other stuff and how realistic your graphics are. And we're both gonna have a good time, but I ain't putting that system in my house. Nintendo all the way. Nowadays, one generation, you're an Xbox fan. The next generation, you're a freaking PS4 fan. The next generation, you're a PC fan. The next generation, you're a Nintendo fan. I, Nintendo is the only company that can sit in the middle. That's the only company that you could be an Xbox and Nintendo fan. You could be a Sony and a freaking Nintendo fan, right? But right now, like brand loyalty, nah, homie. We're gonna go with whatever the best system is. We are going to go with whatever the best system is. Now, if you drop an exclusive game that's like really dope, then yeah, we'll go ahead and purchase that system. But what I'm saying, Sony, is you should be doing that right now because when it comes to power and even the features, like Xbox talking about being able to play games on multiple platforms and stuff, like, I don't know, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And I want Sony to succeed because if Xbox is the only one succeeding, it doesn't help us out. It really doesn't. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Dog 1985. Go ahead, leave your comments, man. There's levels to this, and there's levels to the way you're gonna compete in this next generation. Sony, don't do it based on power. We out. Peace.